Really challenging today.
While the trains and buses are running, some commuters are encountering delays and cancellations. Jessica Formoso at the Long Island Railroad Station in Mineola. What's going on over there, Jessica?
Good morning, Rosanna and Dan. Well, a little bit of everything, I should say. We have seen trains bypass Mineola. We've seen canceled trains. We've even seen commuters running up the stairs and over the overpath to the other track, to track 2, because their train was no longer on track 3, but on track 2. And you can see here things are quite busy at this hour. Oh, a train just came by, and that's why we're not seeing people on the tracks. But right before, there were people here on the platform, and we see people coming to the other side now as we speak. But the MTA is saying that the LIRR is experiencing delays and cancellations on a number of branches. Now, the LIRR officials were planning for a normal service today, as the LIRR railroad was running on a weekend schedule yesterday, operating about 750 trains. But the MTA acknowledged that the brutal cold temperatures could be a problem. And while those problems, we're talking about track switches freezing in place and broken rails, and we're seeing just that this morning. The MTA putting out a message to customers saying customers can anticipate cancellations and delays today due to ongoing weather-related switch and equipment troubles. Take a listen to what commuters here in Mineola have to say.
We're going to try to do what we can do. We've got to get into work. Stay safe and warm.
As soon as the train was passing by, that's when they told us the train's not stopping. Thank you. You know, there's no excuse for this. They keep raising the prices, and then there's no excuse for this. They should keep the lines maintained. Hundreds of thousands of people depend on LIRR in order to travel to work. So I think there's certain steps that must be accounted for in order to take care of the lines properly.
Okay, so let's talk Metro North. Metro North service should be back to normal after operating on a Saturday schedule yesterday. The MTA says subways and buses are up and running at normal times, but of course, make sure you check before you leave. Let's take you over to New Jersey. Transit officials there say all light rail service have resumed, and about 106 buses are also operating as well. As for NJ Transit Rails, well, it suspended service Sunday at 2 p.m. and resumed yesterday at noon on a severe weather level 2 schedule, on a modified weekend schedule. That severe weather level 2 schedule remains for today, which means trains are operating on reduced limited weekday service. So before you head out the door, again, make sure you check those apps. Now to the airports that were shut down during the storm. Things are expected to be back to normal at our area airports on Wednesday. That would be tomorrow. Yesterday, Newark had over 509 cancellations and over 300 delays. In the last 24 hours, 562 flights were canceled at JFK and at LaGuardia, a similar scene with delays lasting hours.
Alrighty. Same story every year. Same story every year. Every year this happens. Every year. Doesn't matter whether it's Thanksgiving. Record number of travelers this year. Everything is shut down. A winter storm. Oh, Texas is frozen over. Crashes all over the place. This is all over the place, guys. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a comfy time here.
And it's not just the side streets that are slick.
Here we
so
go.
are the interstate.
Leave this over here before I get. I'm just gonna get. Oh man, buckle up, guys. I'm just gonna make sure this is gonna be a lounge, so I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get through my stuff within 25 minutes over here on the clock, including this thing. Get a beer, and then let's just have a good time, because this is the same thing every year. Same story every year. Nothing changes in this country. Nothing.
Causing problems there, it is the ice. At one point, state police actually closed I-70 westbound on the east side today.
Doesn't matter
because
where.
the ice
Doesn't
caused
matter
so many
how.
accidents. Traffic
Everything
was
is
diverted on
just
the 465. That's the image you see right there. And then look at this. This is Sergeant John Perrine from the Indiana State Police. Look, there he goes. Posted that video to social media of what happened when he got out of his car this morning. Ouch. that was just how slick it was.
But look how fast he got back
got
up.
and he had a good sense of humor. He had a good sense of humor about it as well.
He is okay. He posted it on purpose because he wants you to see how slick the road is. And as we know, it only takes less than a half an inch for you to see some ice to feel the effects of that.
That's
but,
right.
You got up, Sergeant Perrine. Good
He
job.
did. He's up, and we're all getting a good laugh.
All righty. Yeah, so same story. Different year, different time. Funny enough, now there's a video here. We drive a car at negative 71 degrees Celsius, negative 95 degrees Fahrenheit in Yakutia, Siberia. I mean, it seems to be the only time. They get, what, like 20 feet of snow there? It seems to be the only time. This country can't even handle a foot of snow. And everything turns into a third world pile. 100, it's not a joke. Literally, 100 so cars? More than 100 vehicles. I think it was like 115 or something like that. That's not a joke. It's literally triple digits. And this is like all over the country. There was a couple of others. There was like a 40-car pileup somewhere else. But I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And you think people in Michigan would understand how to drive in the snow? I mean, Michigan gets plenty of snow. Anybody in the Great Lakes or in the Midwest understands that you're going to get snow. But look at this. 100-car pileup. 100-car pileup. 100 vehicles involved. Video record, blah, blah, blah. And it's the same thing every year. This is the same thing every single flippin' year. A little bit of snow. A little bit of snow. And the whole country shuts down. We learn nothing. We do nothing. It's the same flippin' thing. But hey, the wages are up. The S&P has hit an all-time record. Are you feeling the record there, folks? Are you feeling the record? Are you feeling like you're gonna make? Oh, by the way, we'll get into that later. But let's just real quick. Just a brief update to what happened over in Spain, because we want to talk about this and put things in perspective, okay? Because this, again, what happened in Spain, very sad. But 6 days ago, it seems to be that there was a fracture in the track that caused the accident, which shouldn't be happening. If they were actually going ahead and checking the tracks and actually following along with what they had to do, this would have been fixed, okay? Because every other country that, like Japan, this doesn't happen. Okay, Spain has a little bit of an issue here. Okay, this is the second time that Spain has had a major accident that was very preventable. Okay, now, to all credit to Spain, they did a fantastic job building out their system. These two times, not so much. And the death toll right now is 45 people. All right. Yeah, we got that. Absolutely terrible. Now let's put that into context. How many people die in the United States every day on our roads? Oh, let's see. Out of 795 traffic fatalities in 2022, it's been about that number. For like the last 10 years, it's been about over 38 to 42, 40. It's around 40,000 people a year. By the way, more people than guns. We've discussed that multiple times. More people die in the United States per year to cars than to firearms. Okay? And subtract about 2/3 of the gun deaths in the United States, because those are caused by suicides. Okay? There's a whole bunch of different ways to cause suicides, and, guns, honestly, kind of clean way to go out, I guess you can say. I mean, let's be honest. It's not a good thing to talk about. But you have 11,000 murders in the United States caused by guns. There's still probably more. There's more murders by knives than there are assault rifles. But let's, again, putting in things in perspective, that's about 106 to 117 deaths per day. Per day. Per day. That is more than double. Every day in the United States, more than double than what died in Spain. More than double. Just to give you guys context. Just to give you guys context of our very silly system here. Okay? Let me see what's going on over just in Indianapolis. I'm pretty sure you guys can have different things. 900 plus crashes, and in the last couple of days, 100 plus with injuries, 6 deadly crashes, 500 plus slide offs, 1,000 drivers assisted. This is so stupid. This is ridiculously stupid. Okay, 4 troopers involved in crashes. An overturned semi blocks I-465. How the flippin' hell how do you flip this over? Excuse me. What? I mean, it's the same thing every flippin' year. The same thing. I mean, the signs say 60. It doesn't matter. People don't know how to drive. It's the same thing. And then even if you have, let's say, a semi-working system, a rail system in the United States, it's third world tier. Let's see what happens in Japan during a blizzard. Here you go. Let me see. Oh, Shinkansen arrives during a blizzard. Let me just mute the horrible music here before we get.
This is how Japan keep its streets snow-free without a single snow.
Yeah. Okay. Here, we'll play that too. Again, the country never learns, and it's obvious our priorities have nothing to do with fixing America. Making America great again means making our infrastructure great again. Not Wall Street great again, making America great again. Okay? Here's a working infrastructure system. More snow, by the way. Look at the amount of snow there. Same amount of snow. A train capable of 150 miles an hour plowing through. Just plowing through and on time. Wow, a serious country can have that sort of stuff. Okay, let me see what's going on the road. What's going on the road?
No chemicals, no salt.
Japan's high-speed trains actually
water that keeps streets.
Stop! Everybody, stop! Okay, I hate these AI voices. By the way, like the minute I see some of these, I just go back where I just put it on mute and just look at the captions. Okay. Look at that. Now, the salt on the road. It's pretty terrible. They've done so many studies about the use of salt on the road. It only works to a certain degree, and then you leave it on there. It gets mushy. It gets disgusting. It gets all over your shoes. It gets all over your car, and it starts to rust your car. Does the government pay for the rust and damage that it does your car? No. That's another tax on your usage of the failing infrastructure. By the way, you pay more than taxes in a lot of other European countries. So, I mean, and look at this. And then countries can be able to do this. Now, if we were to do something like this in the United States, obviously it wouldn't be done well. They pick the contractor, bottom of the barrel, lowest bid, and be able to hike up the prices as much as possible. Would probably cost maybe, I don't know, $400,000 to do this on a street in Japan. Will probably cost like $5 million in the United States. The pipes will break because they're made out of like crappy PVC that will go ahead and break within one winter or something like that. Then the whole entire street will collapse and stuff like that. And then they'll have to pay another $5 million to go ahead and do it again. Yeah, heated groundwater onto the pipes. There you go. Yeah, warm the water, sprinkle through nozzles, melt snow and ice. Constantly, no chemicals, no salt, just clean, natural water that keeps streets clear and safe for traffic all winter long. By the way, one of the major city that gets the most amount of snow per year, over 250,000 people, by the way, live in Sapporo, Japan. And they get the most amount of snow. It's like a bigger lake effect. Because they're right by Russia, right by Siberia. They're getting a massive lake effect because it goes over the Sea of Japan. And they get like 20 feet of snow. They're not having that many problems. They don't have that many problems. And then the same thing with the bullet trains and all their other trains. Okay? Same sort of thing. Okay? They plow it through. They go ahead and they... you see, they do the same thing with the trains. They're spraying water on the trains to make sure that they keep them clean and keep it in its warm water. And they're running through. We've done this every frickin' year. We've talked about this. I would say at least since 2019, since I've been up here in the Midwest in the winter talking about this. This is the same thing. Hell, they even have trains. They have trains that have plows. In Sapporo. This is nuts. It's very silly. It's honestly silly. I'm sick and tired of talking about this every year. But hey, look, wait, hold on a second. Where is we were just talking about this, me and my wife. Let me see what's the big thing that Trump wants to do now. Here we go. Let's bring this up here. Let's see. This is the big thing here. Here we are. Let's play that. Let's see if that works. Come on. Here we go.
Existing housing, people that own their homes. We're going to keep them wealthy. We're going to keep those prices up.
He flipped again. I guess
we're not going to destroy the value of their homes. So the
last month, remember that Trump talked about this like right after Christmas. He says that, oh, we don't want those people to lose the value of their homes. That homes have to go up and up and up and up. And then about 2 weeks later, he says, we're going to stop BlackRock. I'm going to put an executive order through, I'm going to put a bill through Congress to make sure that big financial institutions don't own single-family homes. We can't have that happen. It's been crickets since then. Nothing has happened. Right, and there's really nothing going on to really fix up our infrastructure or anything like that, and whatever's going up in speaking of third world, I love how people are calling Minneapolis Snogadishu. Speaking of third world, okay, that's a whole disaster. Okay, I mean at this point, just go full on Jinro at this point. Just start sending in the Wolf Brigade. I mean, if honestly, I mean I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I really am. I don't know how many commercials I see. I mean, speaking of buying homes, I mean, we have to have charitable organizations like Tunnels to Towers and Wounded Warriors and stuff like that. Now we can go into the whole charity industrial complex if you want to, but the problem is that, you know, you have a lot of these veterans in our own country. Let's talk about just veterans. You know, completely messed up from absolutely terrible wars that shouldn't have happened, okay? Their own country has failed them, sent them to a garbage war that for 20 years we accomplished absolutely nothing, okay? Spent trillions of dollars. The country's in more debt than it ever has been before, and never will fix the debt. And you have to have charitable organizations to go ahead and help these veterans who have sacrificed life, limb, blood, and sacrifice, all of that to get mortgage-free homes. But yeah, we need to import the infinity people here. We need to import infinity people here, while not helping our own people, not helping our own veterans, not even fixing our own country. But we got to make sure the home values, the assets, it's just nuts. It's nuts. It really is.
Didn't work very hard can.
And then people complain, well, we can't, the people who come over here, Mayor Jacob Frey, say, oh, it doesn't help that, you know, some Ecuadorian that comes over who's employed for MPLS is doing that. No, as you know, we have our own people here to care for. I'm sorry. Okay? Maybe you can have, I don't know, if the CIA wanted to do something cool, maybe they could have like 10 other Nayib Bukeles. Install 10 more Bukeles in different countries and fix those countries. I mean, what El Salvador has done has been great. Bukele's building beautiful public spaces. Crime has basically become non-existent. If you have a serious country, you can do stuff like that. If we had a serious country over here, we could, you know, be able to get rid of, you know, 50 million people really quickly that shouldn't be here. We can give Americans jobs. We can be able to train them, be able to build up our infrastructure, be able to have homes that are affordable for families, be able to build up families again, and be a moral... honestly, we need to be a moral country again. Because you just see just a worship of the almighty dollar. Not even a worship of families or God or anything else, it's the dollar. We gotta keep those prices up.
Buy a home. We're
up and up and up. How about up to God?
Easier to buy. We're going to get interest rates down. But I want to protect the people that, for the first time in their lives, feel good about themselves. They feel like they've,
unbelievable.
You know,
unbelievable. Yeah. Here, the president of the United States literally telling you should either own assets or learn to be a permanent member of the underclass. Government is not coming to save you. No regulatory changes are coming to save you. Make your financial bets accordingly. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Here's another one. And then we'll get into some little fun news, and then you guys can throw in the news. But yeah, it's gonna get worse, guys. It's honestly gonna get worse. I'm gonna try to keep the language down a bit over here, but yeah, I can understand it again. We could talk about boomers all we want. Let's go full on boomers for like the next 5 minutes right now, just to get it out of our system, because I know you guys are gonna do it again. I don't know how many times I have to say not all X are like that, but for some reason everybody gets it when it comes to millennials. Everybody gets it when it comes to Zoomers. The one generation that doesn't seem to get the knack salt argument tends to be boomers. When I explain boomers, doesn't mean you. If you're a boomer watching this, we're not talking about you, okay? When you make fun of millennials with avocado toast, we can understand that doesn't mean all millennials or all Gen Z Zoomers or you know, Gen Alpha talking about 6'7" and brain rot. We get that. We can be able to talk about per capita without saying that it's not everybody. We get and understand those concepts. But anyway, speaking of boomer overload, hold on a second. I was watching with my wife, Barrett Jackson, because we love watching this sort of stuff. I mean, we're both big car fans. I have never seen the amount of money just thrown around. I mean, cars going for $250,000, $500,000 easily, like this. I mean, like this Ford Gran Torino GT going for like $250,000. And the entire audience is, who do you think it is? There you go. It's there you go. Look, they got, it looks like who the two guys from the Muppets, the two old guys. Hold on, I forget their names. That's what these two remind me of. Stadler and Waldorf. That's what they are. It's Stadler and Waldorf over here. Hey, they were able to buy this car for a summer job for $3,000. And now they're buying it again for $250,000. I mean, if that just shows you how completely separate, like, I mean, there was a couple, like, Gen Z millennials or millennials there, but it was like maybe like 4%. If I saw maybe 4 young people buy cars, it was all boomers. It's all boomers. I mean, and it literally I mean, it was kind of sickening to kind of watch it. I mean, with the way it's going on, this is like end times and end of empire sort of stuff just happening right in front of it. I mean, it was cool to see the cars. It was not cool to kind of see what was and how things were going about. I mean, it's just kind of it's kind of crazy. And meanwhile, like the houses that are being built now, again, more houses with holes in them, with built up with twigs, with holes already built. These are not they're not even putting in the windows yet, and there's already holes in them. I mean, this is horrible. I mean, I want more townhomes to be stuff. I want more high density living to be, but I'd like it to be built so people can be able to own it. It can be multi-generational housing that people can be able to have like it used to be, where they're not falling apart like crap. Like the stones out here are just facade. They're fake. They're just pasted on. It's basically a board of like fake bricks that are about like an inch, maybe an inch thick or whatever. And then just plaster it on there, and like the rest of it, it's just filled up with twigs. This is the infrastructure we're building over here. I mean, it's just it's kind of silly. Yeah, guys. But anyway, things are gonna get worse. Just real quick, UPS to eliminate 30,000 more jobs as Amazon value cuts accelerate, shares rise. The shares are rising, folks. The wages are up. It's crazy. And then you hear stuff like this. Here you go. I wonder what else is happening. Oh, yeah, here. Amazon laying off about 16,000 corporate workers in latest anti-bureaucracy push. But Amazon, hey, the stocks are up. The stocks are up. People are about to, lose their jobs, but the stocks are up, guys. The stocks are up. And yeah, and Ford's top lobbyist to depart company amid U.S. policy turmoil. I don't know. Maybe does it have to do with the automobile industry is in trouble? By the way, if you're in the automobile industry, it's time to pivot out. It's time to go. I kind of got the canary in the coal mine. So I'm transitioning to something else as quick as possible. But yeah, get out of the automobile industry, because it's. We talked about in another live stream about by 2030, it's estimated about 30 to 40% of automobile dealerships in the United States are going to be gone. Okay, though the miles of like that mile strip that you see in your town that has a whole bunch of automobile dealerships nearby. You have Nissan right next to a Chrysler dealership, right next to a Ford dealership, right across from a Toyota dealership, right across and next to it is a Mitsubishi. I don't know even if it buys a Mitsubishi anymore, but you know what I'm talking about. You have these in every town. Yeah, imagine that about to be a ghost town by 2030. It's gonna get bad. This is not good, but hey, it's the golden age, folks. It's the golden age. Yeah, really. Meanwhile, this sort of stuff keeps happening. World's largest train station, a high-tech, high-speed rail hub that's truly massive. Guess where? Guess where? Not the United States. Not the United States. Chongqing, China. Chongqing, China. 13 million square feet. About 170 football fields. I mean, it's kind of funny. We as Americans will do anything but use the metric system. This article literally puts it there like, what's 13 million square feet, 170 football fields? Okay, we will literally say anything but metric systems here. Okay, 15 platforms, 29 tracks. Let me see, handles 16,000 passengers per hour at peak periods. You're not going to get that out of an airport. That is not happening at an airport at all. No siree. Impossible for that to happen at an airport. But hey, it's just happening in China, which, by the way, has taken, I don't know how much of our money and how much of our companies have stolen our money and, started joint ventures in China only for them to be taken away. And I know Starforce brought up an article with Steve Saleen when he tried to do a joint venture in China. Just real quick, just to talk about it. But this is what happens is that, let's say Steve Saleen wanted to start a company, a joint venture in China. They basically take about 200 of his patents or so, file it with the Chinese patent system, basically steal his stuff. He can't do anything because all the Chinese judicial system is going to side with the Chinese anytime. This has happened with like companies like BMW. Like literally, there was a company that basically stole BMW. Like it looked like a BMW X3, and this company went ahead. The company just made it. BMW went to the Chinese court to say, "Hey, that looks like that's exactly our car." What did the Chinese court say? No, that doesn't look anything like it. No, don't look like BMW. Completely new car. No, don't look like BMW. Case dismissed. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna play their own kangaroo court because they can. We can't beat that. You can't beat that. You can't beat their own game. Playing our game in their country doesn't work. It's so stupid. Oh, but anyway, guys. Okay. Again, same stuff that happens every single flipping year in this country. I'm so sick of it. I'm so tired of it. I was gonna go through this article here talking about the Sioux Line and the Milwaukee Road over here, but it's now that I think of it, it's kind of depressing because it talks about how, especially the Milwaukee Road, went ahead, built the largest electric railroad at that time to connect between the Midwest through the Rockies over to the Pacific Northwest. Unbelievable. Nothing like it had been ever undertaken before. And then for it to be destroyed. I mean, it's just sad how this country has gone from creating some of the most high-tech, unbelievably fantastic systems to now be a third world country where we can't even get the trains running. If a foot of snow. And this is like, this is so terrible. This is 2 feet of snow, whatever. It's a third world country. Even everybody in the comments are saying it. Keep raising rates, but services continue to falter. Unacceptable. U.S. infrastructure is a joke. Bunch of corrupt politicians that don't invest in better, efficient infrastructure. You can't rely on the MTA for everything. A little snowstorm and everything gets screwed up. Now it's sad. It's sad. Everybody knows it, and there's nothing that we can be able to do about it. ICE is shutting crap down everywhere. Poor choice of words. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, if you guys want to talk about that, we can. But anyway, I'm done talking. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out early. Yeah. Like I said, things are gonna continue to get worse. As it is, but at least here we're comfy. I mean, we keep talking about the solutions. At some point, we're gonna get control, and we're gonna fix this and turn this thing around as quick as possible. Okay, we're gonna make it so quick. Again, all right. Let's see what's going on. I'm gonna make sure we get YouTube chat first, and then bring in everybody over here because I keep neglecting YouTube chat, and I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's make sure we get YouTube chat here. Hello, A2R Gaming, David Jackson, CTR Lee, Adam Basir, Heartless Fiend, 250 Rem, Brian Rock, Rail Fan, Mr. Reese Trains, Wise in Variation. We got a lot of people here. Wow. Okay. I guess everybody's stuck inside, so grab a drink, Relax it down. I'm going to enjoy my PBR, with the Godzilla over here. So, good movies. If you need something, there's like, what, 29 Toho movies of Godzilla you can watch. A good way to go ahead and pass the time. Enjoy the weather. I mean, I enjoy the cold. I do. The winter weather is not over yet. Yeah. This is why Christmas in the old calendar, the Christmas time goes to February 2nd. Okay, you rejected your holly and jolly. You threw it all out at the minute this comes to 22nd, and now it snows. And where does that bring you? Back to me. Should make a meme like that. It brings you right back. I appreciate ARC dedicating quality time each midweek to pragmatically discussing transit topics. I appreciate you, all of you, coming over here. It's not a discussion. I'd be talking to myself if it wasn't for you guys here. And we have a lot to go. Let's go real quick. Dude, TTC here in Canada just craps the bed. Yeah, that's. I mean, come on, Canada. I mean, it's Canada. Canadians now. The Canadians now will start crapping the road and the bed. I'm sorry that joke had to be. I do feel sorry for the Canadians up there. The actual Canadians. Will the real Canadians please stand up? But yeah, I do feel really sorry for you guys. I really do. I do feel bad. I hope you guys, doing well today. The sign says 60 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure that guy was going faster than 60. It was probably one of the Canadian drivers. That's how we'll talk about them there. Yeah, even up here in Southern Ontario, Canada. Yeah, it's silly. Also, how it's going? Is she going over the border like you're going to Canada? I set off the alarm bells as well, which saw in your car. Was it kind of funny? Also, to see her at the same time. I guess you guys are talking about something else there in the comments. Posted about what the snowstorm did to New Jersey and to. Okay, we'll talk about that. Sort of looks like the Brightline station. Are we talking about the Are we talking about the Chinese station? It kind of has that look. That modernistic look. Yeah, kind of. It's a large scale Brightline station, you can say. I mean, we can build something like that. Now, I will say the Brightline station has a lot more color. There's a lot more. It's not just a giant concrete structure. But I mean, it's just crazy that the Chinese can go ahead and build this stuff within 2 years, and we're still twiddling our thumbs over whether we want to get something done or not. Wise in Variations 1, as my dad used to say, son, remember the poor always bail out the rich, and we expect to apologize for what those that pull the levers have done. Yeah, it's capitalize the gains and socialize the losses. This is why we're lemon socialism. That's what we're living in. We're living in a lemon socialist economy. Whenever GM can make as much of the gains as possible, they can go ahead and do all the stock buybacks. The minute that GM is having an issue, you need to bail us out. The taxpayer needs to bail us out, and we'll never pay it back. And they never have paid back from 2008. I mean, it's how many once in a lifetime economic disasters have us Gen Z and millennials have lived? We're all in the same boat, guys. Zillennials, we'll just call it Zillennials from now on because we're kind of both in the same boat. But yeah, very very good. Your dad's right. Wise in Variations. He's pretty wise in that sense. This means aircraft is a monopoly. The more competition we have on the rails, it brings prices down. Absolutely, Renault Reed. Absolutely right. Okay, let's bring everybody here on board. So we got through the YouTube comments. All right. Total chaos time. Everybody on.
Heyo.
Yo.
Good evening, bud.
Evening. Everybody having a nice chill time?
Hey.
More ways than one?
Yep. Well, we're getting ready for snow. We're getting ready for snow Saturday. We got snow coming in Saturday for us.
Awesome.
Yeah, more snow on the way. I don't think it's going to be heavy.
I took a screenshot of the weather report for us, and I'm sharing it in the live. I'm at live chat right here. Look.
Alrighty.
For my
18 degrees in Charleston. 18 degrees. Oh man.
We
got
cold weather, and it's supposed to be coming back on Saturday as well.
13 degrees. Okay. All right. Let's make sure, guys. Let's make sure that we don't have any sort of feedback from the from your mics, by the way. So make sure to mute yourselves if you're not speaking, so we don't have it feedback and back and forth. That's all we need to ask for. Let me see, Darius. The term Zillennial actually exists. It's for a cusper of youth born in the mid-'90s. That includes me being born in 1995. Yeah, it's why I was like, there's some things that I with millennials that I remember, but there's something with Gen Z that I also also tend to. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. All right.
Look at Genesis.
I'm gonna go up in the articles here, guys. So I'm gonna go. Actually, I'll go down. Making sure we get from today. Genesis is having fun over there. So if you guys are hearing background, guys, it's probably Genesis. Where are you? What game is this again? This is Roblox server here.
Roblox.
Yeah.
Roblox. I figured.
Yeah, but which it's a railroad simulator on Roblox.
No, that's Railroad Sim Universe.
Okay, hold on. Your mic is pretty low. I can't hear you.
Oh, right. So.
I heard Railroad Sim Universe.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's
okay.
What he said.
All right. Yeah, you gotta bring your mic up, man. I can't hear you too well.
Oh man, hold on.
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Hey. Hey, Darius.
Okay, we can hear you.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
but
so here in Miami, it's actually, speaking of tundra and the cold bliss here, Miami's actually going to get record low temperatures.
Define record low.
It's going to go down supposedly to mid-30s.
The mid-30s in Miami. Oh man.
Oh no! Remember when we had that in 2010?
I remember that. Yeah, that was fun.
But what about the alligators? And they're not used to the cold. We gotta protect the swamp.
Well, the funny thing is the iguanas, because when it gets that cold, they'll start freezing and dropping out of trees.
Oh yeah.
Here come the iguana warnings.
Oh man, yeah. Just stay away. And guys, those iguanas do. Look, I've carried iguanas, and they got spines on their back. They're kind of hefty. They're kind of hefty lizards. I wouldn't want to be under those things if they start dropping out of a tree. Okay, and they can get pretty high up. Okay, so you just be careful you're walking in South Florida. If you encounter
otherwise, Sir Isaac Newton's gonna be laughing at you.
Yeah. Except we don't have to worry about apples. You have to worry about coconuts and iguanas.
But Dimitri, for us, they're expected between around an inch to 10 inches of snow here in Charleston.
I see. Yeah, so much for global warming. Yeah, that's true. I'm enjoying the global cooling, John Mark. I'm very much enjoying the cooling.
Yeah, we've been waiting since the 70s since the global cooling was a major issue.
Yeah, wasn't there a documentary that had Leonard Nimoy voicing it, that they were talking about like global cooling and a global ice age in the 1970s? It's kind of funny.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the science back then. That was the accepted science.
And you don't want to be a science denier, even though their science keeps changing every few years.
Yeah.
But don't point it out, and definitely don't point out the fact that they changed the actual data in their graphs in every single inter-panel climate change report from every single year going on. But if you point that out, you're a science denier, even though if you use a previous report to break their lies, well, you're not just following the science.
Yeah,
now, right?
It's ridiculous, honestly. I mean, these people will go ahead and go to Davos. They'll go ahead and ride private jets, spending hundreds of millions of dollars on fuel alone.
No. They take their own private jet. They're not gonna carpool with the other groups.
Oh, of course not.
Only the poors do that.
Yeah. It's insane. And then wait, on top of that, then they tell us how to go ahead and live while they're living in the highest carbon footprint lifestyle possible on yachts and large homes. And, we will own nothing and we'll be happy, but it's just kind of crazy that they're allowed to go ahead and do that. But then on top of that, they'll go ahead and put out media like I remember the big thing back, I think it was around 2009 or 2010. There was some documentary or mini series on like ABC called Earth 2100, and they had this whole segment where like by 2025 or something that New York was going to flood over. They had to build this giant seawall to keep out the water from coming into Hudson Bay from flooding up New York. It was just complete fear mongering. For what? We're not having any of those, catastrophes happening. It's our opinion on Agenda 2030. Yeah, it's just all a way to go ahead and buy up as much real estate for BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. That's all it is. In one sentence, it's a way for the big three to go ahead and buy up more property. That's it. That's all it is, and that's all that will happen.
The easy way to solve it is, what's the number one industry in the world? That is insurance. And what is insurance? Well, they take risk and then they give it a financial number and they say, this is the acceptable amount of risk they're willing to cover, and thus you have to pay this amount. But when you look at real estate, especially near the coast and stuff, it's like the rates have been somewhat flat, if not subsidized by the government to stay lower than they should be. So you have people building stuff in places that would not make financial sense, and then it gets destroyed, and then the government subsidizes to rebuild it versus don't build there, you morons. Yeah. On top of the fact that, hey, congratulations, the oceans are rising everywhere at different rates. But if you go to your bathtub and you say it's going to flood out in this spot and not any other spots, either you're breaking the laws of gravity, which Sir Isaac Newton's going to come from his grave and start slapping you around, or you're admitting that you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, speaking of British 17th century, if you guys really want to go down a rabbit hole of insurance, look up Lloyd's of London. They've been around, since the 17th century. This is by far the biggest insurance company in the entire planet. I mean, they insure the craziest. It's you want to find a way to make thin money out of air. These guys have been around for nearly 400 years, so they're obviously doing something right in terms of making money. So, look up Lloyd's of London if you guys really want to go down a rabbit hole. But all right. Let's change gears a bit. Let's see. Adam Everywhere dropped this article over here. Amtrak restores New York City Albany trains, dropping cheaper Metro North alternative. All right, so Amtrak is restoring full train service between NYC and Albany beginning in March, but at a cost to commuters hoping for a more affordable ride. The move means a plan to extend Metro North to the capital region will no longer move forward after Amtrak said it will not allow for temporary service to proceed. Amtrak originally announced last April it would significantly cut some of its train service between New York City and Albany for several years to accommodate construction on the East River Tunnel, which was badly damaged during Superstorm Sandy. This is crazy. We're talking about, this is almost 15 years ago. This happened nearly 15 years ago.
This summer. It's taken a long time to fix everything in New York.
Yeah,
What's that, David?
It's appalling.
Superstorm happened over a decade ago.
Yeah, we can't.
It's the awkward part when it's like, yeah, we built this thing in 8 years, but we cannot repair it over the course of a decade and a half, and it's your fault.
Oh man, what a joke! What a joke!
Give us
my God!
Don't forget the last part.
Metro tickets are going to be much cheaper. Look at Amtrak tickets for the same price.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. I agree with you, Adam. And then they charge the same price. Pretty bad. What on earth is this cursed meme, David?
What the heck?
Father, I crave cheddar. Oh man!
I've been out and about last week. From a week, I was out and about and I found this. I took a photo of it.
Pure cheese.
Where did you get that?
Oh man. Okay. I'm pretty sure I've seen this meme before. Yeah, I think this is a pretty old one. Well, it's snow in Florida. Record cold ahead in Northeast. I don't know. Maybe you guys get some flurries down there. Let's see.
Some flurries, but I don't think it's gonna be that much.
Yeah, you're not getting like a foot of snow or anything down there. That's not happening. Let's see what other articles you guys put here.
In a climate classification, Miami's still considered fully tropical, but there's actually an article made by a Chinese Australian that actually has realized these cold fronts, although rare, does happen and will happen. Like still to this day, it's going to get unbelievably cold. And he noted that as one of the biggest flaws in the Köppen climate system. And the biggest reasons why he created subtypes.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
Miami's
There's
borderline
probably some
tropical.
flux between what the borders are, between what the climate system over here, or what different climate zones are. I can say for sure here in Indiana, there's at least 3 different climate zones. And funny enough, we're talking about the Köppen climate zone. Like the literal border for the Köppen climate zone here in the state of Indiana is right along the I-70 corridor. Like I have literally, like there were times I was driving up north on I-70 or driving up north on 465, cross over I-70, and it starts snowing on the other side. Or even going down south, where it snowed more down south in like Columbus, Indiana, where I used to live. They got 18 inches of snow over there. And it's mainly due because that's where it starts. There's like a coupling of like hills that start right over there. So you just got like all the cold air that just kind of just got stuck into that bowl and just dumped a whole bunch of snow in there. So
yeah, we got a level of frost on the ground.
Putting southern Indiana subtropical is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not subtropical. That's insane. Indiana be subtropical.
And that's definitely what even that author who did that article and did a proposed climate system change also noted very well.
Yeah. Oh.
And even then he divided subtropical into 2 zones. The colder ones like having 4 seasons if they're continental.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's see. There's another article you guys put out here. New York City ferry suspends due to icy rivers. New Jersey transit back to normal schedule. Yeah, this is I mean, you'd think you'd be having more ice.
Below freezing.
Yeah. What are the ships called? Icebreakers, or is there?
Icebreakers.
Icebreakers tend to go through thicker ice.
And we got like.
I mean,
but as long as it's designed right, it should be able to break ice normally.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just not going to go.
Normally, it's not. It is below freezing anyway, but it's going to be a little tough to break up the ice.
Yeah,
especially when you go up the Hudson.
I got a Minnesota meme.
All right, we'll go to the Minnesota meme. Let's see when was this article put out? This is the 28th. So this was yesterday. The system said Tuesday evening the closure could last several days. The ferries, and people use a lot of ferries over here in New York. So I mean, this is not a small thing, not at all a small thing. All right, let's see David's Minnesota meme over here.
It's right below the cheddar.
Okay.
Great.
Oh man, my brother's baby. More. The whole situation is sick. Honestly, there's a lot of fraud everywhere. I mean, that's just a tip of the iceberg. Iceberg. Funny enough, but yeah, it's just crazy. Games where your mouse cursor turns into a little gauntlet. Yeah, it's oh man.
We need more of that.
Yeah, definitely. Some old either like what was it the old Elder Scrolls game that had that? I remember like 1 and 2 like on Windows 98. Those are pretty fun to play. And then RuneScape also had a cursor. That was I don't know how many like hundreds of hours I dumped into RuneScape. That was oh man.
Yeah,
Stronghold and Stronghold Crusaders.
I haven't heard about this happening.
Let me see. No injuries after Amtrak train for Vermont derails in Massachusetts. Okay, 113 passengers on board this train. How long ago this happened? This was let me see, 2 days ago. No passengers were injured. Let me see. Dettel said the train was crossing into Massachusetts from the Vermont line when officials believe it had hit the switch in the tracks, which was apparently frozen. That resulted in derailment of the engine and the passenger car. This is so silly.
Oh.
And this honestly stuff, I mean...
A frozen switch?
A frozen switch. You don't have any countermeasures in place to, I don't know, heat up a frozen switch, either using water or fire. I mean, even in Chicago, I mean, they have where they have gas lines that spray fire onto the tracks to keep them warm. I mean, you don't have.
I know.
That's in city.
Yeah, but Demetrius, you're forgetting one important thing. The tracks are built before the people in charge is great grandparents were even born. So you can't expect them to maintain them for another century, can you?
Yeah, you know what? Let's see. Does somebody have any idea of when those were actually built in Chicago?
The 1880, probably the 1880s.
Chicago.
Probably there's a lot of lines.
Probably after the Great Chicago Fire.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, probably when the San Francisco went in.
Let me see. Great Rebuilding. Okay, so Chicago Fire of 1871 and the Great Rebuilding. Did they let me see. I'm not finding anything of when they built those let's see. Why Metro Light Chicago tracks on fire? Now I'm trying to see if anybody is there any information on when they built this into the tracks. And I'm pretty sure it was at near the turn of the century. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. So Japan wets their tracks, and then Chicago just lights them on fire. It's kind of fun. Hey, it works. So, but I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Though the site is familiar to many Chicagoans, folks braving their first Midwest winter, or those who've never seen the phenomenon, may be surprised to see small fires burning along Metro Railroad tracks. The Transportation Agency uses this fiery technique to keep ice accumulation at bay during periods of extreme cold, which makes sense. And Chicago gets really damn cold too.
No, it does.
Yeah, the whole coast of Lake Michigan there, like that whole eastern coast, all the way from Green Bay all the way down to Chicago, it gets real cold.
And what's crazy is even when talking about the Great Chicago Fire, that was the smaller of the two fires that happened that week. There was a bigger one that burned across the plains from Bay to Michigan.
Yeah.
But fewer people know about that fire than the Great Chicago Fire.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's at least like how many? Yeah, there's 4 stars on the flag of the city of Chicago, and I believe one of them is for like there's like 4 disasters of Chicago. That's like the stars. If I remember correctly, that's kind of what the stars mean. I know one of them is for the fire of 1871. If I remember,
but they didn't put a star up for the day Al Capone died.
Yeah, that's probably. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Let me look up Chicago flag too. Let me just try to see when this gas line was built. When was that constructed onto the tracks? Let's see what happens. Usually we have our Chicago correspondent to take. It doesn't specify no historical information on when this system was first implemented. Info online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's let me see, gasoline here based on the article. Okay, hold on. The gas-fed heaters at Metro's A2 interlocking were custom designed specifically for that location. The article doesn't provide an exact installation date. Let me see. John Mayers, Metro's director of engineering, recalled using this older method in the mid-70s, suggesting the modern gas-fed heater system was likely installed sometime after the 1970s. So this is a system that's been used at least for 50 years. Again,
so basically, when the people were in charge were small children.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, for the people currently in charge were small children, and or either they were small children, or they were huffing copious amounts of drugs somewhere in a field in New York, called Woodstock. So.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that second part that much.
I see. Okay.
Speaking of that, we got some short line news.
Yeah. All right, let's bring up some short line news real quick for Chicago, guys. So let's just make sure. Okay, so the flag of Chicago. So here you go. Here's an explanation of the flag of Chicago. Yeah, the stars are for the different major events in Chicago history. The first one is the Great Chicago Fire, the original first star. The second is the World's Columbian Exhibition. The third is the Century of Progress exhibition in 1933, and the fourth is Fort Dearborn. So that's the those are the stars on the flag. So not 4 disasters, but 4 basic or 4 big events in Chicago. I don't know if they're going to add a 5th star for something else or whatever, but you never know. Okay. All right,
they need to add a 5th star just for the organized crime.
There you go. All right, let's see some short line news, and then let's talk about some other news you guys have put on here. We'll go until about we'll go until about like let's say 9:45 over here, so you give you guys enough time. See, it's 9:12. Let's put in. Here we are.
All right, the article I posted it at 9:07, and it is one of, our other guys' article. Which, sorry, but I'm taking your article because it's a short line article. With I'm the short line.
Yeah, is this the one Pinsley complete 6 million rehabilitation? The 36-mile Alabama short line. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and read through this. Yeah, guys, but this is, again, why do we talk about short lines? Because, honestly, the biggest amount of innovation that you're going to see in any sort of industry is going to come from smaller, more nimble corporations. That's what it's going to be. More local, either state. Yeah, companies that either run within a state or region that can be able to do this sort of stuff. So, example, why we talk about Brightline so much and why that makes sense is because that was technically spun off from a Class 2 railroad that only operates in Florida, the Florida East Coast Railroad Company. And they said, hey, you know what? Since we're all Florida East Coast Industries is technically separate from Florida East Coast Railroad, but they're more or less the same company in a sense. But they said, hey, why don't we go ahead and bring back passenger rail to the system and be able to have a high-speed rail system that's privately owned and be able to build that. So that's where you're going to see more innovation is going to be from smaller, more nimble companies, not from these giants, not from Ford, not from GM. You don't see the sort of innovation anymore from these larger companies, and they don't want to innovate because innovation doesn't mean green line go up for the taxpayers. I'm sorry, for the shareholders, not the taxpayers. It means the taxpayers get fronted. How do they get the green line to go up? They get the green line to go up by laying off their workers. They get the green line to go up by laying off their workers. UPS eliminate 30,000 more jobs, shares rise. Amazon laying off 16,000 more workers, up 0.29% in the day. So there you go. That's why you don't see any sort of innovation from these big companies anymore. But let's go talk about what these small companies are doing. So Pinsley has completed $6 million improvement to rehabilitate the line, restore service to anchor customers Shaw Industries Group, a carpet manufacturer, and Arson, a materials and polymers technology company. Both are located near the end of the line in Andalusia, Georgiana, or Alabama. Okay, that's in Alabama. Never mind. I was reading Georgiana, and it was like Georgiana, Alabama. Not in, This is all in Alabama. So there you go. And again, bringing back industry, bringing back and reshoring manufacturing here in America means also bringing back railroads in order to move those materials in and out and around the country. So it only follows through. Yeah, you want to bring in, again, brings in more jobs. Those good paying jobs can be able to pay in a whole lot of men, to be able to have families, to be able to afford housing. Okay, not having, giant 8,000, square foot ranch homes that only Statler and Wardolph can be able to afford, so they can put their their $250,000 1971 Ford Gran Torino GT in the garage to never see the light of day ever again. So that's it. We're not building homes like $1.5 million homes. No, we're building homes for families to be able to afford. Okay, that's on a one salary basis.
Thing once a month.
Yeah,
they're gonna try that once a month.
Yeah,
if that.
Oh, no, this is my baby right here. I don't touch that. I mean, she was a cool $250 million.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait a second. Wait, I forgot we have
a
soundboard over here. Hold on. Here we go.
Wasting away again in Margarita.
There you go. That's the Barrett Jackson theme song. But okay, let's talk about this. So there you go. Yeah, the owner, HG's Railroad Service, a rail construction contractor, said on a post on LinkedIn that his company installed more than 38,000 cross ties on the railroad. The Georgia-Andalusia Railroad began operations in late October 2025 after Pinsley purchased the property from Three Notch Railway, a Genesian, Wyoming company. G&W had operated the railroad since 2011, but the track had deteriorated to the extent that the rail service stopped in November 2024. So it took them 2 years to go ahead and rehabilitate the line, $6 million, and fix it in 2 years. Yeah. The railroad was changed ownership several times during the past 30 years. Originally was a Louisville and Nashville route. So there you go. Look, this is, again, why do we talk about this sort of stuff? Because this is where we see most of the innovation is going to come from these smaller, either state-based or regional companies. Not the giant class ones, not, the Union Pacifics that are trying to go ahead and just consolidate more and more money for the sake of the shareholders. That's not how we see innovation in this country. We do not get innovation that way.
I'm going to bring it up. If we want to solve the problem, go after Wall Street. Go after effing Wall Street. I will say this. If we go after Wall Street, start arresting the prick, start throwing them in jail, and tell Wall Street, it's the price you're going to pay for screwing the country up. It will straighten them up really fast. Because all you have to do is start throwing the little bastards in jail and making it where they cannot get out and make an example out of them. Then that will make everybody else start straightening up, and we need to go harsh on them. Am I right?
Well, that's the more correct. Another way is to get rid of all the unnecessary regulation and then just allow new companies to rise in their place. And then all of a sudden, hey, you want to pay more money for a worse product? Or would you go with the new guy that is offering you a much superior product for the same or even less?
Yeah.
It's a longer term plan, but it works every single time.
Yeah, and that's,
the only
again,
problem is
because you have this ladder pulling culture, and the Wall Street types, and again the boomer types as well, where all the lack of laws and lack of codes and restrictions that they were able to go ahead and build their companies up. That they didn't have available. They didn't have to go ahead and compete with 1 billion people coming into this country. They didn't have to compete with China going ahead and buying up the jobs. They didn't have to compete with BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street buying up all their companies and everything else, or 500 different once-in-a-lifetime economic disasters. Now, of course, they've had those things, but not to the point where it was basically unstoppable that there wasn't any sort of recovery afterwards. Because they had the what happened during Nixon, and they had the Carter years, but then they had 8 years of Reagan. So I mean, it's insane that they can be able to go ahead and say, oh, we had our stuff. Yeah, but you guys recovered. We have never recovered since 2008, which somebody pointed out in the live stream. Soon it will be 20 years since the 2008 collapse. That's what Adam Basir put out in the YouTube chat. And yeah, it's true. We haven't recovered since then. Nothing has really gotten better.
The crazy thing is it started crashing like 6 months prior to them admitting that we were in a financial recession.
Yeah. So
it really happened in late 2007. They didn't admit it until 2008.
Yeah, so here's a screenshot from an X post. Pretty much all the arguing about careers and making a living is really due to cost of living, which is due to this graph and almost nothing else. The red area is housing that doesn't exist. It's what 2008 cost us not to build. Solve this and you solve everything. So there you go. Look at this massive downpours. This is newly privately owned housing units started, total units population. So there you go. You see this massive destruction right over here around 2007, 2008, and it just never recovers since then. Just continues on that way.
It's much worse than that. Depending on which estimate you go with, they were 100,000 to 400,000 units shy every single year since 1990s.
Yeah, that's
so we're talking multiple millions of units shy, whether that's apartments, condos, townhouses, homes, or even McMansions.
And then the sad part is that
you're millions shy, that drives up the prices because demand stays the same.
Yeah. By the way, guys,
before
the McMansions are basically built like this too. Okay, if you ever lived or been inside a McMansion, a new McMansion right now, they're all kind of built the same as well. They're built like twigs. Some of them even have fake windows. I kid you not. Fake flipping windows. Okay, the fake windows. I remember seeing a couple of them. I was like, oh, is there another floor on top of the garage? No, they're fake windows that they plastered on there for no flipping reason. I thought these houses were 2 or 3 stories. No, they're 1 story. They maybe have a basement underneath them, but they have windows on the top that are false windows for no reason. And then the stuff inside is built like crap. The fireplaces doesn't even work. The one that I was in for a bit, the fireplace didn't even work because the gas line was broken. I didn't want to mess with the gas line because God forbid this whole thing would go up in flames from a single fart. Like in Christmas Vacation. So I mean, I didn't want to mess with that. But here,
the plumber
there is
could
good
the
news.
plumber could wait the one
If
week.
you want to get a McMansion because you become successful, but you don't want to get the crap that's being built today, get anything built before 1995 at the latest.
Yeah. Stay with the 1990s or 1970s vintage, whatever else. Just do not. If you're gonna own something, now there's a difference between renting and owning. Okay. You want to rent one of these twig houses or whatever for a year or two, go right on ahead. Let them, if the wall breaks or if the washing machine made in Mexico
that is
falls
where,
apart, let them
if we
fix
are
it.
lucky enough to get just a little bit more, or get slightly like a 50K, then we might rent. That's what they mean when they say you will own nothing.
Yeah.
And you.
Yeah, let me bring in. Okay, we got some more people in the chat. Let's bring them in.
When we say okay boomer, okay renter.
Yeah, that's
an insult.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's terrible. And speaking of that, here you go. Half of college grads are working jobs that don't use their degrees. So there you go. 52%, 1 year post grad, underemployed, and that doesn't get any bit better. 10 years after being graduation, and I know a lot of people, including a lot of you guys here on the channel, and a lot of people that I know specifically, a good number of my friends. It's been almost 10 years. Actually, no, 10 years. 2026 since I graduated from 2016. 10 years later, 45%. Yeah, still underemployed. It's absolutely god awful. The whole entire economic system is terrible. It's everything showing us. This is awful.
You want to know why the unemployment's low? Because half of them are protesters.
That's kind of true too.
Well,
You could say that.
Trump helped get rid of their funding part, so they're going to be protesting for free.
Did you see the communications got leaked?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
The organizers.
That whole thing is a mess. Yeah. So let me just finish this tweet over here.
Jobs and you underemployed, and now we're going to cancel bank accounts of the protesters.
Yeah.
Cash Patel.
Yeah. No, that's yeah. It's the whole thing is nuts. Like it's an obvious riot. Come on, you guys know how to figure this out. But yeah, here you go. Boomers are effing the young from every possible direction, including by preventing the building of new houses with strict zoning laws. So 1, import 150 million foreigners. 2, give those foreigners all the jobs. 3, refuse to build any new houses. 4, offer kids 50-year mortgages. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's not gonna go well.
Let me see.
Well, as everything is starting to get bad, I kept demanding reforms, and it's looking like people want revolution. And if things don't change, well, we're going to get a revolution. Yeah. It's just not going to go the way.
Here we go. Charlie Kirk posted this on Twitter a couple days before he got assassinated. This is the social compact breaking down. We need urgency to restore it. 1, mass deportations. 2, stop the H-1B scam. 3, dramatically reduce legal immigration. I'd say it needs to be reversed. 4, end chain migration, the visa lottery. 5, build 10 million homes for Americans. And by Americans, we mean Americans. 6, crush the college cartel. Yeah, that absolutely needs to be, because college debt that's an absolute scam. You can't go ahead and claim bankruptcy on it. And I was just looking the other day, the price of colleges. It was already bad when I was a student at FIU. I think per year is about $10,000, and then I look at it for 2026. It is $25,000 to attend Florida International University for a year. It jumped up 250% within 10 years. That's crazy.
Is that before the classes are even paid for?
Yeah, this is the after classes. If room and board, everything included. It used to be, I think it was if I remember correctly, the numbers, if I recall, were $11,000 back in 2012. I'm sorry, in 2012. That number has now jumped up to $26,000 in 2026.
Wow. So
that is for a public university in Florida. So I can only imagine private institutions and private universities. It's got absolutely nuts.
Just go back when I was going through
college. I'm not paying for that.
Yeah,
back when I did college, it was like $700 per credit hour at a local community college, but $700 per class. But when I went to a private in-state university, it was $1,000 per credit hour.
Whoa!
Yep,
that's nuts.
Hey, that was.
How do they track your credit hours?
It's usually just the individual classes, and those are usually 2 to 3 credit hours per class.
Oh.
Yeah, so it ended up being like 20 grand after everything's said and done per semester.
That's a lot of
But when I was going to community college, it was less than 4 grand per semester.
Like,
Let me see if I can find this chat so I can get the exact numbers, because it was pretty appalling when I was talking to my wife about this and just talking about it.
Have you? I'm gonna jump to a quick Super Bowl ad. Have you seen the new Pepsi ad?
Nope, I have not.
Oh,
you can show us later.
All right, we'll watch it if you guys have it on there. Let me see real quick. Here's another Twitter post. Chief engineer torpedoed the visa renewal path. If the U.S. Navy can take someone off the street and train them to operate a nuclear submarine in under 3 months, then Amazon can train an American to do a tech job at the same time. Therefore, visa extensions are unnecessary. The truth is simple. Every H-1B renewal proves the job was never temporary. Amazon had 3 full years to find, hire, train an American. Instead, they choose to renew the visa and lock in foreign labor. Not only do they pay a fee to train Americans as part of the visa process, this is in compliance, it's abuse, it's un-American, and it betrays every citizen who could have filled that role. Dump the visa renewal path, hire and train Americans. Yeah, and we saw the video where Ford built a factory for $500,000 within a couple months and trained people, I don't know how many, thousands of people who had no technical experience, trained them how to build B-29 bombers. Trained them on how the electrical systems work, how the airlift systems work, how all the different systems work around a B-29 bomber, from the propeller all the way to the tail fin, and be able to train them and build it. So when they're serious about building something, they'll go ahead and do that. But it's understandably, it is un-American. It's absolutely un-American and appalling. And that's I agree with what you said earlier, David. It is un-American, and these people, it's treason. It's treason. I agree. There should be a lot more consequences.
And for some of these neocons who say that national security is the biggest, this underemployment crisis is actually creating more national security threats, because not only H-1B are allowing people who potentially spies, but because you're also putting you're pressure, because the underemployment crisis itself is pressuring college students like Glenn Duffy Shiver to go and do what he did.
Yeah, I know we talked about that. Yeah.
A lot of people
about this last week.
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Can I bring it up, Dimitri?
Yeah.
A lot of people say, democracy. Hold. Let me bring up the word. Like, what the word again that everybody saying, communists are better than that dumb. What the word again?
I'm trying to get what context you're trying to. Are you talking about like the other word for communism by socialism, or the other system related to communism, or what are you trying to?
Communism, like what happened during the Vietnam War.
The Cold War?
Yeah, like during the Vietnam War, where with communism against. I completely forgot. Oh my
capitalism.
God.
Yeah, communism against capitalism. But I mean, honestly, what you're seeing here is the marriage of communism and capitalism, because we're seeing capitalism on one end, making sure that you own nothing and you'll be happy, and we're seeing communism on the other end saying the same thing: you will own nothing and you will be happy. So both communism and capitalism seem to be doing the same thing over here. They're making sure that you don't own anything, you have no regards to your private property. You have no private property whatsoever. It's all concentrated, whether it's BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, or whether it's the government, or both of them in cahoots. And again, I said this before, by the way, Lenin and the Bolsheviks were funded by Wall Street. Okay, so capitalism funded communism. Okay, so let's be real clear about that. Okay, it was
and then they ended up building the factories for the Soviet Union.
Yeah. Funny how they do that. Again, it's capitalize the gain and socialize the losses. Funny enough how they can do that. But yeah, here you go on the screen what you're seeing over here. Ford, GM, and Consolidated Aircraft built a factory school to train 50,000 farmers how to be aerospace technicians. It cost $500,000 to build, had 10 courses, charged no tuition, and guaranteed a career upon graduation. No resumes, no six-part revenues, no workforce shortage. Again, this country was able to do this. When this country was a country.
Dimitri, the system right now is not capitalism. What did he coin it as again?
Well, yeah, what I talked about is lemon socialism. That's what it was. Here, I'll bring up that. Let's bring this up for everybody to be able to see. Here we are, lemon socialism.
A lot of people, because a lot of people are saying the system we're in right now is capitalism, and that, but it's not really capitalism.
Yeah, it's there's different there's different ways you can say it. You can call it ersatz capitalism, lemon socialism. It just goes to say you can call it crony capitalism. Someone said it's the devil's socialism. It's the same thing at this point. Capitalism, socialism, communism. It's all leading to the same thing.
All different.
Until you realized who coined the term capitalism, that would be Karl Marx himself.
Yeah. Funny enough. There you go. Socialism for the rich, capitalism for the poor, which was used in the 1960s. The notion of privatizing profits and socializing losses dates back to 1834 and Andrew Jackson's closing of the Second Bank of the United States. By the way, by far my favorite president, and I do believe probably the best president this country had ever had, was Andrew Jackson. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. He's by far my favorite president.
Y'all gonna laugh at this, but everybody demonized him for the Tears of Trail. But here, Dean, part Tears of Trail were written by Native Americans up in the North. So don't blame it on him. Blame it on our own community. Because one, I'm part Blackfoot and Cherokee Indian, and I'm gonna say this: yes, it was our own community fault. Because you had Native American who were part of like, look, it was the Algonquins, what they're called up there, you know? People don't do their fucking history. Like, yeah, Native Americans who were part of the U.S. signed a bill to get people who are Native American down south out for they can work and take land down here. So, yeah, everybody, even Native Americans was stealing land. So, it's an everybody problem. Not a one minority, not one color type of thing like the liberal like make everybody believe so they can that shit up their ass.
Yeah. The version of history of how the native or aboriginal history of the United States of America is not what was taught in schools. It was far more violent than what it was that they weren't like a peaceful class of people or anything like. They were killing each other all over the place. That you didn't know like what tribes were originally in one place or another were basically genocided or wiped off the map by another tribe that came into that area. So I mean, yeah, it's all over the place. If there was any sort of people who got treated, that there was some sort of peaceful intervention, or at least some sort of way to go ahead and try to find a way to have what's the term I'm looking for? Either integration or a peaceful way to have either moving them somewhere else or anything like that. It was from the United States. Which, I mean, if you look at it now, I mean, a lot of these Native American tribal areas get plenty of money. I mean, they're there. They get plenty of money and assistance from the American government. They don't have to work at all, and they're perfectly fine living by themselves. You know, Americans don't get their own sort of reservations or anything like that. I mean, we don't have a reservation system for people of this country, for heritage Americans. So I mean, it's kind of crazy, but. Yeah,
yeah. You know what? If they want to be like that, then let's just have registration for everybody. Let's just make registration for white people too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we will have reservations for white people as well. Yeah, but Andrew Jackson, if you want to talk about a guy who came from literally dirt poor and absolutely nothing, this was the guy that did it. Okay. A good number of his family was killed during the American Revolution. Dirt floor, had half his family killed, comes up from absolutely nothing, becomes a general, one of the greatest generals in American history. I mean, the guy's an absolute legend by far and beyond. So there we go. That's the type of historical figures that need to be emulated again in this country. That's what we need. People who have that grit and bravery in order to go ahead and fix this country. That's what we need.
Let not forget that he used to duel a lot, like gun duels.
Oh yeah,
duel was a thing back then.
Oh yeah, let's just bring back dueling.
But that means a lot of shooting and a
lot. Let's bring back dueling, because then I can duel every protester in the streets.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny.
We forgot one more thing.
I'm seeing it now. Dump trucker getting out of his
Today's
truck,
the 40th anniversary of the
and
Challenger.
smacking him with a glove, and he says, "I challenge you to swords at dawn."
No, I say I challenge you to a duel.
We need to bring back martial combat in this country. Yeah. But no, here's a funny story. Speaking of Andrew Jackson, so he was almost assassinated multiple times, but this one assassination attempt. It was probably by somebody hired by Biddle, who was the guy who was in charge of the second bank of America that probably wanted to get rid of Jackson because he wanted to kill the bank. This guy had two pistols. Aims at Jackson while he's giving a speech. It fires, but it misfires. The powder doesn't go off. Okay, so that gun misfired. He gets the other gun, fires it at Jackson. It also doesn't go off. At this point, Jackson is pissed off, and Jackson at this point he's old, but he's still tall. He's like 6'2", still at this point, but he weighs maybe 130, 140 pounds. Starts beating the crap out of the guy with the cane that they have to take Andrew Jackson off of his would-be assassin, because he was going to kill his assassin at that rate. Okay? The guy was an absolute, that's why they call him Old Hickory. He was an absolute the guy was a legend. Okay? This guy, we don't have that type of...
Just need a weapon.
No, all right. Can I be honest? The best president who acted that way was Teddy Roosevelt, because him and Teddy Roosevelt are the two best. Because here at Team, Teddy Roosevelt did trust us and crack down on monopolies.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this: he did use the ICC to its full extent to stop monopoly. But let me be honest, that was before Henry Ford had them realized that they could sneak in. Like, if Teddy Roosevelt had seen how big automotive was going to be now, I guarantee he would have probably tried to put them bills in to try to make sure automotive would have not got away with the shit it did,
Yeah, but again, this was
because
that's a decade later.
Yeah, that was nowhere close to his presidency. I mean, he did try to run again in the Boomers party, but that didn't go anywhere. And then we got stuck with damn it, what's his face? Who was president during World War I? Damn it, now I just forgot his name. Woodrow Wilson. There you go. That's what we got stuck with. Yeah, the third parties never work in America. So it doesn't work in modern America. You kind of have to just either break down the Democrat and Republican Party. We just haven't been able to do that. I mean, it seems like it may be happening soon enough, but yeah.
Eventually, we're still a long way away.
At least in the 20th century, third parties have always led to the Democrats winning. Okay. You had the Boulder's Party, Roosevelt run in 1912. It led to Woodrow Wilson. You had the same thing happen when George Bush and Bill Clinton. The same thing happened there. So yeah, don't run third party.
Donald Trump was running.
Yeah, that was back in 2000. I mean, he was doing it was a exploratory campaign. He wasn't actually really running. He was trying to see if he would get enough to actually really won. He did the same thing in 2012 too, but then he actually ran as a Republican in 2016, which is, well, there you go. But anyway,
and that's funny is that they think Trump is this mean. Oh, he's a Republican. It's like, nah, he was a Democrat.
Yeah,
they all started out as Democrats, and then they learned that.
Now, I do want to bring it up because it's something I thought was really funny because I actually like breaking people's minds about this. And it's about the ICC from the late 30s through the 50s, like before the Interstate Act. Because I actually had to explain people this because a lot of people don't realize that the Interstate Commerce Commission, when it came to like big automotive and the airlines, like big automotive by 1933 were already 50 years old. Like cars were already 50 years old by the 1930s. Aviation
those cars originally weren't made to do what they do today. Like the Ford, the Ford T1 was.
Listen to what I'm trying to say. Automotive was 50 years old, like, and the car were already popularized by 1908. Aviation, with like passenger planes and all that, were only 15 years old. It was still in its infancy. The problem is that the ICC, with them two interests, they did not know how to govern them or regulate them from running monopolies and stuff. So, and here's the thing: if
that's why the FRA was created.
If you're crooked enough and your business is young enough and the agency that is supposed to regulate you doesn't know how to regulate you but know how to regulate your competition, guess what they're going to do? They're going to start sneaking officials in, start a private official, started getting their people in. And that would happen to the ICC. Like, by the 1950s, that whole agency was infiltrated by big automotive supporters and all that. And I'm going to tell you that if you want to kneecap an industry so bad to where it could not compete with a competition, if you're part of their competition, if you want to kneecap it, you do it by regulation and by government. That's how you screw over a big scene. And that would happen to the railroads. A lot of people don't realize it, but this is what actually happened to the railroads because they were regulated to hell and back by the ICC because of big automotive and all that. Then, in the 50s, and Dimitri, you brought it up too a lot, that they had their money being taken from them from millions to billions of dollars given to the competition tax-free to build their infrastructure. Am I right?
Yeah, no, that's true. And all the railroads at that time were saying the same thing. It's like, hey, how would you like it? And this was Perlman at the time, who was the head of the New York Central Railroad, is like, how would you like it if you were to run a business, the government taxed you and used that money to go ahead and fund your competitor? Which, again, that's not capitalism there, or a free market capitalist system in America. That's basically socialism. It's basically going ahead, taking money away from a working system to go ahead and prop up a system that would otherwise fail by itself. Again, the definition of lemon socialism right there. That's what it is. But that sort of thing is A-okay in America. And that's the problem. That's what we're living in right now. Is, again, it's a lemon socialist economy. You can give it a whole bunch of different names, whether you want to call it corporatocracy, ersatz capitalism, whatever. Capitalism, socialism. At this point, it's two different sides of the same crappy coin. There's got to be a third option at this point. And I'm not going to talk any more about that. But it's nuts. It's crazy.
You want to know something that infuriates me now that as I got an older and I start realizing it infuriate me that they lie about this in the history books. They lie about it so bad because if you use common sense, you actually look into the history about stuff, you start noticing saying, hold on, wait a minute, up and ain't right here because they lie about what happened to past or relative countries so much. It's laughable. It is laughable because when you start looking at what really happened, it did downright evil. It did
Well, you
downright
forget
evil.
one thing. You forget one thing, that the people that are writing the history, or at least the ones in charge of deciding which history to get taught, are the same ones that are promoting their own ideas. And
Yep,
who are that? They are socialists and socialist sympathizers. And so if it's important to promote one thing but not another, they're just gonna forget your little thing.
All right, guys,
Now,
5-minute warning here.
Here, team, I want to bring it up real quick before I get done talking. Did one of the worst mistake that, and I'll bring it up. Eisenhower did an Eisenhower mistake. It's that he got rid of the Red Star program. If anybody know what the Red Star program is, it kept communism at bay. That was the worst mistake right there because look at our country now. Am I right?
Yeah, you had institutions like the Frankfurt School really run its course through the educational system within the United States. And then, by the way, similar to what Minor Tree was talking about, or related to what he was talking about, look up McGraw-Hill on Yahoo Finance, and then look at who the holders are, and I'll put it up right here over here. Let's see who the holders of McGraw-Hill happen to be, who write most of the history books. Oh yeah, top institutional holders. There you go. There's Vanguard over there. There's BlackRock over there. Owns not a big amount of shares, but you see them owning a lot of the Platinum Equity Advisors. They own 86% of it. I wonder who owns. Hold on, let's see, because this is funny. You have to see who owns the holders too. Let's see, Platinum Equity Advisors. I'm pretty sure they're also. Oh, that's interesting. They're not. They don't come up. Platinum. Let's see. You guys go ahead and continue. I'll just look this up. Let me see who owns these people. Equity advisors.
But I will bring it up again because here saying they lie about it in here, but saying the plane and the car took the rider away from the train. But when you start looking at other countries like Europe and Asia, and you look at the U.S., it doesn't make sense because if it happened here, it should have happened there. The kicker is that it did not. That's the kicker. And before anybody say it because their country are poor, no, their country had more money than us. And I will say this, they are able to pick on how they can get around and they don't have to worry. Unlike us. And seeing is that in Europe, you get go on 6 to 8 week vacation a year. You get unlimited 6 time. If you're a mother, you get 2 to 3 years of paid maternity leave. If you're a dad, you get 1.5 years of paid maternity leave. And that in Europe. And the unlimited sick time is because they care more about their people than we do. But also, and my wife home come to the Philippines with Val's birthday coming up March 9th, so we only got a month and about a good week and a half until my wife's 31st birthday. But in my wife's home country, the Philippines, an apartment at $20 a month, you could buy a house for around $100 to $200. And
wait, a house for $100 to $200?
Yep, and here's the
what kind of house?
Are you talking about
actual houses?
For like a month.
Wait, you can buy a house for $200?
I mean, I know it's cheap, and that's where a lot of people are either moving to Southeast Asia, like to Thailand or the Philippines, because of the lower cost of living. I mean, even to Portugal and Spain, but I didn't know it was. Wait, you serious? $100? Wait, $100 outright to buy a house, or you're talking about $100 a month per mortgage or for rent?
Shanghai, living in Shanghai is actually 50% lower than Miami.
But yeah, here's the thing, like in the Philippines, you could buy a 2-bedroom house with a bathroom, a kitchen, and it actually are built to like actual standards, something you don't see here in the U.S. And like here, team, their house actually can withstand a typhoon or a hurricane. Well, one here to If they get it, hey, like it.
Dude, what?
It's so fucking laughable that we're more expensive, but if a natural disaster hit here, half of the houses are gone. But in the Philippines, if they get a natural disaster like a hurricane, same with it's technically called typhoon over there, it's a minor nuisance. Like what?
Well, it depends.
I'm saying,
I'll tell you this: how strong are those typhoons when they hit them? Because when they get to America, they always seem to go from a category 3 to a category 6 very fast.
They're similar to about like category 3 or 4, like some of those big typhoons about that point. They're about like, again, they're hurricanes, so they just go clockwise instead of counterclockwise like hurricanes do in the Atlantic.
But here, Dane, like it seemed like, and I'm gonna bring up the U.S. We're here, and let me
clockwise or counterclockwise does not depend on the name, but which hemisphere it is. Coriolis effect.
Can I please say what I'm trying to say? Like, in here in the U.S., you got to work almost 2 to 3 jobs to buy an apartment. Mothers get only about a month to 2 months unpaid maternity leave. You only get a week to 2 weeks of vacate in a year. You get about a week to a week and a half of sick leave, and apartment, like, Jesus Christ, like you're a teen. I talked to people who were born back in the 50s. My grandma even said this. That back then you've been able to work a part-time job and have an apartment. Like, what the absolute hell happened? Like, we did not went forward, we went backward. And the fact that you can't even work a part-time job and have an apartment, it messed up. It's not right.
Yeah, no, the American dream has become unattainable for the average working class person now, or the average, let's say middle class. Middle class at this point is now working class, because the middle class has been basically wiped out in America. Where it used to be 4 times your average salary to be able to afford a house, that has now doubled to 8 times your average salary. Okay? I get it, that housing prices have gone up, but the problem is that wages have been more or less stagnant for the last 20, 30, 40 years. They've gone up very little bit, or I mean, not that much. I mean, the salary that I'm probably about to make is about the same as what I was making when I first started right out of college. About that much. It hasn't really gone up. I mean, it's gone around up and down a little bit as I've moved to different companies, but it really hasn't jumped up to, you know, what people are saying. Oh, you go to college and you get 6 figures out. No, nobody that I know is getting 6 figures right out of college, unless they have connections to somebody else and they can get, you know, a job right out immediately because they have those sort of connections. But even the smartest people that I know that have doctorates degrees and master's degrees out of college are they're not getting anywhere near enough.
Dimitri, Brightline wanted to talk.
Yeah.
Genesis.
Go ahead. We'll keep this going up a little bit more than 10 o'clock since the conversation's been getting good.
All right, so basically,
can you find up?
Genesis, you got to put your mic up because we can barely hear you.
All right, hold on. I don't think I have a microphone, so I'm using the computer right now.
Okay, it sounds like you're talking like from the other side of the room, and like the computer is like down the hall or something, because it sounds very low.
Do you have your volume up?
Like, try turning up the volume. That normally works.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to...
Okay, while Brightline is getting that all fixed up, does anybody else want to go ahead and chime in? Any last words?
Just put up a few posts in the comments, that's all.
Okay, wait, what is it, Adam, everywhere? What was it?
Just put like a picture of the housing costs, that's all I did.
Okay, here, yeah, let me look that up, because I know you just said it. Okay, cost of materials for building a house. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and look at it. And here's the thing, guys. Is that the costs have gone up for a lot of these raw materials.
ARC, I got you covered on the prices real quick.
All right. Yeah.
$3 grand, $5 grand, $100 grand, $10 grand, $9 grand. That's gonna rack you about $1 billion per house.
I mean, not $1 billion for a house, but I mean, they'd love to sell you a house for $1 billion and a 50-year mortgage if you can sign on away. A 100-year mortgage for $1 billion house.
Hey, Hey, if you buy this house with all the money left, we'll give you 5% off.
Oh man.
I'm saying that's the cost of
signed
house,
by
not the cost of
$5 a
land.
day, and they'll throw
It's
in
like
a
that
free
clip
pizza.
that's like, and you owe a running price at the gazillion dollars. Elmo has a T-Rex and a Go Fish card.
Oh man.
I think Genesis can get mic fixed. Hey, bud, you got your mic fixed?
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
A little better,
Yes,
yeah.
we can.
We'll run with it. We'll run with it. Renell Reed, if you want to get back in, just put your hand up and we'll bring you back into the chat. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, Donald Trump, the Trump administration approved a project that would connect. Okay, let me try to translate that for you guys. So here's the thing: Donald J. Trump actually approved a underwater cable that conducts electricity to Puerto Rico from the Dominican Republic, which is ridiculous.
It says a lot about Puerto Rico. They need electricity from the Dominican Republic. That's hilarious. Oh man.
I know. We've been talking about this we've been talking about bringing electricity to them since 2021, and it's 2026 right now. Holy
It's what they're doing in Europe to
man.
interconnect their countries together. So it's doable, but it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be expensive.
Oh man. Yeah. Speaking of third world status, yeah, we're all the whole entire continental United States is going to be. It's already at Puerto Rico's tier at this rate. This is pretty bad.
Might as well annex Puerto Rico at this point.
Oh man.
Hey, Dominican Republic.
Eventually,
Goodness gracious. Yeah, it was exactly the same. It's like, wait, we mentioned somebody mentioned the N-word. Hold on.
The N-word. You know what the N-word is? It's no. It's the nuclear word. He mentioned the N-word. Yes.
They can't build a nuclear power plant in Puerto Rico.
Just a reminder, look in the chat. Just a reminder with the GIF below.
Okay. Me avoiding my taxes, the IRS is after me.
It's tax season.
Oh, great.
The IRS is like, you owe me money.
Oh man.
Well, that's right. February, it's about 3 days away.
Yep. Almost. Everybody's getting their W-2 soon. Hold on, real quick. Adam Everywhere put an article here. Amtrak might open a station in Madison, but not until 2032.
That's a long time.
6 years. 6 years. If even 6 years. That's nuts.
Just to put a station in town.
This is crazy.
Look at the meme.
All right. Okay. How many you guys putting in here? Oh, I don't care who the IRS sends. I'm not paying my taxes. Yeah, that show only ran for like a season, not even. It was kind of weird that they took that off of Adult Swim. We have what it takes to take what you have. Oh man.
Yeah. It's like a weather meme because we were talking about weather today, so it evolved it like.
Okay, what is going on Tuesday?
Down south.
It's the weather in Mercury.
Yep.
Y'all are lucky. We got nothing. I'm a little mad. We got nothing. I'm sad.
All right, hold on. Renell Reed wants to speak. Let's go. Let's invite Renell Reed. He's been trying to get on. He's been having technical issues as well. He's been trying to get in. Let's see if you can get in. Renell, whenever you get in, you're free to speak. All right, guys. Anything else that you want to say? We'll just give it like 5 more minutes here. At 10:05, we'll shut this all down.
Oh, Renell's on.
I got a class 1 railroad meme.
All right. Oh. Renell Reed, you're on. Let me see. Class 1 railroads. Budget cuts. Make trains. Run trains. Make money.
Hey, at least there is.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
At least there are memes that we aren't allowed to show.
Yeah, we got to keep it as PG-13 as possible as we can on here within YouTube's terms of service, as sucky as they are. All right, Renell, if you want to go ahead and speak, you're on, man. You got your mic on mute.
Yeah. Yeah, the spicy memes goes into the memes on the Discord server, which you can join us right now. Just check The link's in the description.
Yeah, thank you, Minor Tree, for plugging the Discord server. Yeah, guys, if you guys want to join us up on Discord over here, feel free to. It's pretty cool on here. We're pretty chill. But yeah, feel free to go ahead and join us here on Discord. We'll leave also a link in the chat here to join us on Discord. We'll go ahead and pin that on here as well. If you are on YouTube and want to join us on Discord, by all means, while it's free. I know I keep dangling around that the Discord will not be free. Once we start making videos again and start gaining subscribers, the Discord for now is free as we start to get in more people, but at some point we will have to go ahead and paywall it. So get in while you still can. Get in while you still can.
Yeah, get in before here, Jane, I'm thinking about doing the same with mine eventually once I start picking up subscriber myself and getting my Discord working.
Yeah, you got and it's good to gatekeep this sort of stuff too, because you can't have the wrong type of people it's especially on Discord, because the wrong type of people can absolutely destroy a channel. Renell, let us know if you can get your mic working. We'd love to hear anything you want to opine on. But yeah, guys, if you want to join us on Discord, we talk about fun. We have memes. We share videos, politics, pictures. If you want to share proposals, we also have that too. If you guys have an idea of what you want to do for your local town or city or state, of any sort of rail projects that you want to bring over there, by all means, post them up on the proposal board. You never know. Some people have actually gotten some stuff into their local commission from our proposal board. It's suggestion board. Talk about sports. Talk about transportation, whether it's, of course, trains, cars, planes, anything in here. It's all fun. Have fun.
Anything on wheels.
And come on in.
Anything unless it's inappropriate.
Yeah. Again, if we wouldn't say it on here, and you wouldn't use common sense, okay? Use common sense on our Discord, please.
We don't want to have to kick you from the Discord server.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Let me see.
Speaking of the live stream, I do want to bring up.
What's up?
I think that's it.
Project got delayed again until 2027 or 2028.
What got delayed?
Wait, what did?
The BRT that they're trying to build here in Charleston.
Yeah.
Did you see the California high-speed rail?
Yeah. Doesn't have a funding.
I did leave this. So California high-speed rail was like, "Oh, we're taking a step forward to progress," and I commented like, "You mean step forward to failure?"
Yeah. By the way, Brightline fan, I think you're getting feedback on your mic. If you need to mute that.
Oh, I was about to talk about
go ahead.
Something in this game. Okay, so basically what I'm playing right now is RSU, Rail Sim Universe, but they got Amtrak trains to Miami, into Miami International Airport. I just rode one.
They fixed the airport station in the game. Okay.
Yeah, it's so hilarious.
I am going to advertise a Roblox game real quick because I am on the development team, kind of.
Okay, so for those of you who don't understand what we're talking about, in context, so Miami built a whole new train station at Miami International Airport to go ahead and have both Tri-Rail and Amtrak. It took them 30 years to develop this stuff, billions of dollars. And after 30 years of development, millions wasted, Amtrak abandons the Miami airport station. Why? Because they built the tracks so short, the platform is so short, that an Amtrak train cannot be able to fit. It would be overhanging over into the road. That means they'd have to close the road for a good 15 and 20 minutes to get everybody boarded on, because this is like the end of the line over here until you get all the way up to New York. For, like, say, something on, like, the Silver Meteor or Silver Star. So, they can't reconstruct it. They spent 30 years developing this. And even this, look, it's funny. The Empire State Building took 1 year and 45 days from construction state to opening, beginning in March 17, 1930. We used to build things in this country. In many parts of the world, they still do. We do spend money, though, like the new $8.8 billion plan for Union Station. They revised that. Now won't be completed until 2040. Yeah, it's a complete disaster in this country, what's going on. But yeah, this whole station here in Miami, They spent billions of dollars. They couldn't even measure how long. Again, they couldn't do something like this, take a measuring tape and say, hey, maybe those platforms are a little too short. Ooh, too short. We gotta lengthen that up. They didn't even do that. This is the simplest thing they could have done. They didn't even do that. It's oh man.
They messed up at the start before they even were building it.
Yeah.
They thought they could squeeze an Amtrak station in there.
Oh man.
Here's the
they
thing,
thought they
though.
measured it. Did they measure the
I saw
whole
a
length of the train?
video from years ago.
No, they measured.
Could actually... Here's the thing, though. I saw a video a couple of years ago. They were putting an Amtrak train. I saw an Amtrak train here in this very station, and it fits. The problem is that Amtrak, well, for some apparent reason, canceled the expansion to Miami. Canceled the extension to Miami Central Station. I'm not sure what's going on.
Miami. Okay, by Miami Central, because there's two Miami Central stations. There's Miami Central Brightline,
Miami
and
Airport Station.
Yeah, Miami Airport Central.
Sorry,
yeah, I know they're both called Central, which is kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah, there's basically three stations in Miami right now. One for Brightline, two for Amtrak.
I mean, this is technically what's called locally their MIC or Miami Intermodal Center, or sometimes they call it Miami Central. But yeah, I get it. So yeah, it's really silly. The stuff that we spend billions of dollars on, and then by the way, it's too short to actually to work there. Amtrak derails decades of deals to serve Miami Intermodal's airport. By the way, that the Amtrak sign is still there on the station, even though it's been empty. Because I remember commuting to that station every day, and it would be empty.
Speaking of which, this is the Amtrak station in the game.
And how many cars can it fit?
Dimitri, I'm going to take it. That's that road.
Oh man.
Road. Book road to the ground. Put it either underground or put it on a bridge. F that road.
I know it's just so silly. It's honestly just this is stupid. I mean, anybody who was part of that project, there should have been an investigation, and that's a problem. Again, this just comes back to it. No consequences, and there's no changes. We just continue to build stuff. I mean, like why does Madison, Wisconsin, have to wait 6 years at minimum? 6 years at minimum to get a train station for Amtrak. Why do they have to wait that long?
Bro,
why do I have to wait that long for an Amtrak station?
Yeah, it's
listen, in the Dominican Republic, we built an entire line for 4 years. 4 years for reference.
Yeah, no, it just.
And is it even being used?
Yeah, there's something again. We talked about what's horribly wrong in this country, and again, it comes down to that. There's no consequences. There's multiple projects that are over costly and ridiculously, a ridiculous billions of dollars, like the Second Avenue extension of the MTA, the New York subway, the most expensive infrastructure project on the planet, by a magnitude of 10 times the next expensive one, and for what? It's the New York subway. It still looks like shit. It's unbelievable.
No, it looks great when it was built in the 1920s. At least that section. It might be a little run down, but it's still good.
Yeah. It's something seriously wrong, and again, there's no consequences to it. And unfortunately, look, we're gonna have to live with a lot of people who did who did this and stole a lot of money. Unfortunately, they're gonna be either too old or they're gonna be gone by the time we get in power, and there's not gonna be any sort of I mean, unless they want themselves to live forever, fine. We can have it, a punishment style of you'll have no mouth and you must scream forever. I mean, that's the minimum what some of them deserve. For completely destroying this country, but I mean, it's just absolutely awful what has happened to this country. Awful.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think
All right.
unless there's a way we can end this on a good note. Any good news? Any good news so we can end this on a good note, please?
I've got some good news. They're getting ready to open a new line to the fiber plant in about a month and a half to 2 months, right around spring, for the new rail line here in South Carolina.
All right. Well, that's something.
The London HST line in London, they're finally going to start digging the tunnels.
Okay, well,
also,
okay, guys, I have some good news. We have some good news. We're not Canada, and we're not the UK. That's some good news. HS2 is never getting built. That is never ever happening. Okay, California high-speed rail will be operational before HS2 ever materializes in any sort of format.
Okay, so basically,
good news, guys. We're not the UK. There we go.
Also, we got some good news on Caltrans, with Caltrans looking to rebuild an abandoned rail line to bring more commuters into San Francisco.
With those horrible electric things they call trains.
All right.
You mean the Sadler?
Here. Well, here's some good news, guys. Here's some good news. Okay, so Amtrak is going to have record-breaking 2026 Q1 ridership. Okay? So if we do have good news, is that people do want to ride trains. This is happening. This is something that's happening. There's no sort of thing anymore of any sort of myth that people don't want to ride trains in America. That's completely false. That's been debunked multiple times. That's historically inaccurate, uncontextual. It's completely wrong. Okay? People have ridden trains in America. Trains built modern America. And people still want to ride trains. At least our generation.
And heck, they lied about it in history books.
Mileage.
Yeah. So during a board meeting on Wednesday, January 28th, reference an Amtrak board of directors meeting, the company also discussed how next-gen Acela delivery delays are still weighing on options. But here's the thing. Quarterly results highlight long-distance gains. On the long-distance side, results improved 14.3 million from a year earlier, a 9.9% gain. A slight increase in capacity, higher per ticket yield helped produce a 17.4% rise in revenue. So there you go, guys. More people are riding train and long distance. That's not even the short. That's the long distance trains. So yeah, people do want to ride long distance.
People are wanting to ride the train again because flights aren't as safe as they used to be. Traffic is stacked beyond compare.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you don't want to get stuck. You guys don't want to get stuck in this in a 100-car pileup in Michigan. Choose a 100-car pileup in Michigan or
the sign 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
The sign said 60 miles an hour.
Also,
you see, people don't want to play the final lane and picket game anymore.
Yep. But also, we got some good news that I just sent the article in live chat. This should be the last article of.
This is the last. This is the last article. Yeah, we're way about time, guys. Okay, all right. Let's leave this for next time, guys. All right, we'll leave it. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it at Amtrak because that covers the whole entire country. I think we're good. All right, guys. So yeah,
let's leave some of these. Let's leave some of these for next time.
Let's leave these for next time, guys. All right. Everybody who's on board, thank you all for riding on board on the American Rail Club Lounge stream. This was a pretty interesting one. I hope you guys, there's somebody's echoes out there. I hope you guys are having a warm time, okay? Enjoying the weather, enjoying the seasons, enjoying the change. You're not going out there in 100-car pileups. You're not walking on ice without crampons, okay? It's going to be a cold winter, but enjoy it. Stay frosty, guys. Stay safe. And we will see you all next time on board over here on the American Rail Club. God willing, next week.
One more thing for Candlemas Groundhog Day in block.
Yeah.
The groundhog in New York. What's his name again?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Tony Phil.
Yeah. This was the last time the Christmas pre-stream will be going. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. So all right, guys.
Staten Island Chuck is more historical
Okay.
is more accurate.
Enjoy the groundhog on Monday. Punxsutawney Phil. Yeah, he's in Pennsylvania. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining on board. We will see you all next time. Godspeed and take care.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
And have a good night.
Bye.